Hello friends, I hope all of you are safe and healthy. Now today in this video we are going to discuss few points, and today and in upcoming days the points which I am going to discuss I have listed over here. You can see under module 3, module 4 and the last one is module 5. Module 3 covers signal generators, comparator and converters. Module 4 includes signal processing circuits, analog to digital and digital to analog converters. And the last module is phase locked loop and timer. In the timer we are going to study 555 timer. So we'll take the first point, that is triangular/rectangular wave generator. This is the block diagram of that. Here you can see there are two blocks under dashed boxes. The first box is Schmitt trigger and second dashed box is integrator circuit. The specialty of this Schmitt trigger is it takes any input and gives a square wave output. On the other hand, the specialty of the nature of the integrator circuit is takes only square wave input and gives a triangular wave output. So now the idea is connecting a Schmitt trigger and an integrator circuit like this back to back to generate triangular and rectangular wave from the same circuit. So here you can see the output of the Schmitt trigger is given to the input of the integrator circuit, that is a square wave output is given to the integrator, and the output of the integrator, that is a triangular wave output, is given as a feedback to the input of the Schmitt trigger back. So like this you can generate triangular and rectangular waves, and even the points where we are taking the outputs from both the circuits is marked clearly. Now furthermore, if you want to describe the diagram, the Schmitt trigger block includes op-amp A and integrator blocks includes op-amp B. The op-amp A negative terminal is grounded and positive terminal is given with the input through resistor divider circuit R2 and R3. Similarly, op-amp B's positive terminal is grounded and negative terminal is given with an input. So op-amp A is acting as a non-inverting amplifier because positive terminal is given input, and op-amp B is acting as a inverting amplifier because negative terminal is given with an input and positive terminal is grounded. So coming to the operation of this circuit, how the circuit operates, there are two waveforms drawn at the end of the sheet. One waveform shows the output of the integrator, one more waveform shows the output of the Schmitt trigger. In simple words, if you consider as case 1, the output of the Schmitt trigger is positive V saturation. You can observe where is the positive V saturation in the waveform diagram. In a square wave you can see the high level is positive V saturation and the lower level is minus V saturation in the timing diagram. So now if in the case 1, if the output of the Schmitt trigger is positive V saturation, so in this case the capacitor C1 connected in the integrator circuit starts charging through resistor R1, and the polarities of the capacitor becomes left plate positive and right plate negative. So because of this, the output of the integrator is a negative going ramp from the duration t1 to t2, small t1 to t2 as shown in the diagram. Now once the integrator's output, that is a ramp, negative going ramp, attains the lower triggering point as seen in the diagram, the output of Schmitt trigger in case 2 changes from positive V saturation to negative V saturation. Now in this case, the capacitors C1 starts discharging and the polarities of the capacitor reverses. Left plate becomes negative and right plate becomes positive. So in this case, in the time duration t2 to t3, a positive going ramp is shown. So similarly this cycle continues. Once the time t3, at time t3 it attains upper triggering point, again the Schmitt trigger output changes from minus V saturation to plus V saturation. So in this case t3 to t4, again a negative going ramp and next positive going ramp. So like this cycle continues. Now here I know you may be left with some of the doubts. So what is this upper triggering point and what is this lower triggering point? For better understanding of this, we will try to analyze this circuit, that is Schmitt trigger. So I have considered the non-inverting type of Schmitt trigger only, because in that previous circuit we have used non-inverting type of Schmitt trigger only. In this circuit you can observe positive terminal is given with an input supply and negative terminal is grounded. And to have a positive feedback, the positive terminal is given a feedback voltage from the output to the point A through resistor R1. So here, say for example, look at the transfer characteristic or hysteresis curve, the second diagram in this sheet. Here you can see there are 2 points, VUT, VLT, that is upper triggering point or upper triggering voltage or lower triggering voltage. Now see, when your V input is higher than upper triggering voltage, your output of the circuit is V saturation. Okay. Now say for example, slowly you are reducing your V input voltage. Although your V input voltage is less than the upper triggering point, your output will not change from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. Look at the diagram, you can understand it. Till your V input is reduced for a value which is less than VLT, which is marked at the left side of the hysteresis curve. Once your V input is reduced well below the VLT, that is your V input is more negative than the VLT, your output of the Schmitt trigger changes its states from V saturation to minus V saturation, plus V saturation to minus V saturation. I hope this is clear now. In the duration in between VUT to VLT, it will hold its previous state. If you are coming previously from plus V saturation, as in this case, V input is more than VUT and your output is V saturation, and now you are reducing your V input so that it is now becoming less than VUT and it is near to the VLT. Still your output is V saturation. Once it reduces well below VLT or just below VLT, suddenly it changes its states from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. Now again you take like this, your output is now minus V saturation because your V input is less than VLT. Now you started increasing your VLT. Okay, say now you have reached 0, still your output will be minus V saturation only, which is the output of the previous state, till your V input crosses VUT, that is upper threshold, not triggering point, threshold, upper threshold it is, till it reaches up V upper threshold, it will be in minus V saturation only. Once V input is just more than VUT, again it goes to plus V saturation. So like this you will get a positive and negative curves one after the another, like plus V saturation and minus V saturation. So here if you analyze this circuit, you can analyze it to get the value of this H hysteresis. The equation is VUT minus VLT. Now what is VUT? VUT is the voltage at point A. So the voltage at point A, VUT, is nothing but current flowing through this resistor R2, that is I input into R2. Now what is this I input? I input is nothing but the current flowing through this R1, because the current flowing through R2 is same as the current flowing through R1. So I input is nothing but voltage V0 divided by resistance R1. So putting the I input value in VUT, you will get R2 by R1 into V saturation. Similarly VLT will be R2 by R1 into minus V saturation. So H will become 2 times V saturation into R2 by R1. Now look at this case. Say for example you have given a input voltage sine wave. How it is happening, you just observe. There are 2 points which are marked VUT and VLT. So you try to understand, as we are having the equations for VUT and VLT, you can observe the equations and you can change the values of VUT and VLT by changing the values of R1 and R2. That means you can design the values of R1 and R2 for a particular upper threshold and particular lower threshold. So now you can observe, you have decided what is my upper threshold and lower threshold and fixed in this sine wave. And what is happening, your V input, once it becomes more than upper threshold, that is VUT, your output is plus V saturation. Although you are increasing V input and slowly it has reached 0 and it is becoming negative, still it is there as plus V saturation only until it reaches VLT. Once it reaches VLT and once it becomes more negative than VLT, suddenly the state will change from plus V saturation to minus V saturation. Again it will be there as minus V saturation only till it reaches upper triggering point. So like this you are generating a square wave by giving a sine wave input to the Schmitt trigger. I hope this is clear, how you are generating a square wave from a Schmitt trigger. Not only sine wave, you can give any input. You can use triangular wave also to generate the square wave in the Schmitt trigger. Now coming back to this diagram. Now it is, I hope this make more sense. As capacitor is, as I told earlier, I will brief out. As capacitor C1 is charging, when the Schmitt trigger output is plus V saturation, you will get a negative going ramp from the duration T1 to T2. As soon as your negative going ramp attains a point, that is lower triggering point, and that means the plus V saturation will be changed into minus V saturation. Under this case, capacitor discharges and you will get a positive going ramp from the duration T2 to T3 and this cycle continues. So thank you. I will send the next video which covers phase shift oscillator and sawtooth oscillator. Thank you very much.